go make an attempt at applicating today. Hopefully it's not too wet. I guess we'll find out one way or the other. But first thing we got to do is get the fertilizer out of the bulk tank into the nurse tank, and then if everything goes well, I'll have them bring me another load tomorrow. But naturally, now that I'm ready to start applicating, we got rain tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, dry Thursday, rain Friday. There's one damn thing after another. So anyhow, let me get this full and we will go from there. Okay, nurse tank's full. Now we gotta put some in the applicator tank. The first field I'm going to, the way it worked out with what I put on with the planter and what I put on broadcast, I only ended up needing to put on 32 gallon an acre side dress. So also looks like I need to extend my top link out a little bit, maybe. See what it looks like in the ground. So that first field I'm going to is only going to be about 2 1/4. So I use 64 gallon basically. Unfortunately, the scale on this tank isn't graduated quite correctly, because at the bottom, since it's a circle, your numbers at the bottom should be further apart and they should get closer together to the middle. And once they get to the middle, they start getting further apart again, because you're going to hold more gallons, say in a spot this big in the middle, than you're going to hold in a spot that big at the bottom. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to throw about 80 gallon in it, at least according to the tank, and see what we end up, if it comes out about right. Hopefully it comes out about right. But yeah, we shall see, I guess. Oh, I forgot, all this stuff came from, or most of this stuff came from the deer dealer, because freaking Rural King didn't have their shit together. I prefer the locking caps, like with the little buttons. And I got about 80 gallon in there, but if it ain't one thing, it's another. My damn hose has developed a couple pinholes in it, apparently. Got my rim all nice and covered in fertilizer. Gonna have to wash that off. And note to self, go to fill this next time, gonna have to take it easy on the initial hit, because the initial burst will shoot fertilizer out the vent in the lid. So anyhow, get things situated here, figure out something to clean that up real quick so that it's not all covered in fertilizer, and I guess we'll go see what we can do. Not gonna lie, I'm nervous as hell right now. I probably should have tried running some water through it first, but I need to get applicating because stuff's getting out of hand. So and I need to know if it's gonna work, because if it's not gonna work, then I have to hurry up and either line up another applicator or get a spreader and figure something out what to do with all this 28 that I got, or something. Must be water in it somewhere. Interesting. we got 28. We got, forgot I didn't put a valve back here. I should have put another one here somewhere. But that valve's open, that valve's open. The only thing, I wish I would have done something to be able to purge up to the pump. I wonder if I can do it that way. I got fertilizer up to the valves. Or up to the, yeah, you know, the gauges. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, it either will or it won't. I'm gonna make a round without the camera on or two just to get used to running this thing. Just, I'm nervous enough already. I don't want to have to worry about the camera. So once we get going, once I'm comfortable, we'll come back and see how things are going. Well, needless to say, it's been frustrating so far. Apparently there must have got, while this thing's been sitting out waiting to be used, there's a little vent hole in the lid, and there's a little part broke off of the little bump they molded in it to use for a handle. Apparently that let rainwater get in there, and it must have been growing algae. And in my nervousness for everything else that's going on with this thing, I didn't even think to look in the tank and make sure everything was good in there. And I got about 2/3 the way through that field down there, and it stopped. It looked like it was still using, but apparently it wasn't. And so it put about 45-ish, 50 gallon on down there and quit because the algae came down and plugged the strainer. And I already found my first design change. I need to put a valve right here so that if I need to block it all, or so that if I need to shut the tank off from the strainer so I can clean the strainer, I can do it, because I had to come home, take the hose, hook it up to my little chem tote there, drain it all out into the tote, which now I got some fertilizer in there that can't be used because it's so freaking dirty. And then get everything out of it, take it down to the house, rinse it out with a hose, clean the strainer basket out, refill it, and now there's another 2-acre field we're gonna go try again, because I don't want to run over that one and risk running down more corn than I already have, because that was right. If 2-3 more days, I wouldn't be able to get over that. I am just barely squeaking over the top of it, and if it wasn't as hot as it was right now, I'd probably be snapping the corn off, but because it's hot, it's laying down and standing back up, luckily. But I'll get, like I said, I'm trying, I'll get video once we get things going here. This is nerve-wracking, to say the least. Alright, I think I finally got it working halfway decent. That was all it took, was cleaning that tank out, apparently. It runs best in 5th gear, but this feels just too damn small to run 5th gear. I got a feeling we get out into some decent sized fields, it'll be fine, but these little patches, I'm gonna try it here real quick. I ran the outside round in 5th, and I was able to kind of do it, but we'll see here. Let me give her a shot again now that I got the end rows worked off. just way too fast in a field this small. That's running about 6.5 miles an hour, and you can't slow down enough on the turns. This is where I wish I could use the T, because then I could run in fourth, and fourth over I could get my 6 mile an hour or 6.5, 7 mile an hour, and then I have my downshifts. But unfortunately that ain't happening right now. So. That field went a lot better. I do think I'm going to end up having to change from the stainless steel balls in the gauges to something lighter, because I don't think I'm pushing enough through to float those stainless ones very good. But how did we end up here? Says it's about 20 gallon. I had it just a tick over 80. So that's probably, I mean, granted the lines aren't correct because it's a round tank, but they're close. So 80 minus 60 is probably pretty damn close, in all honesty. So I guess I'll refill and we'll go hit that field. There's two more that probably need done before we go down there. Well, the two that are going to be as tall as those there, but they're further away, and I still don't want to get too far away from home yet until I trust this thing completely. I mean, so far it's working. Once we got the algae situation figured out, and unfortunately that field probably didn't get what it needed, but it also looks good enough on its own that, I don't know, that's why we started on the small fields. First year with a new tool, working the kinks out, and unfortunately this is a bad year to start with a brand new tool working the kinks out, because by the time I get all the kinks out, the corn's already getting away from me. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. And then this stupid thing hasn't leaked fuel all through planting, all through up to spraying up till now, and then randomly on the last load of fertilizer, the stupid carburetor decided to start leaking fuel. Stupid thing. So, but anyway, I'm gonna refill here, and then we'll go down and I'll see if I can get some actual decent video. is. He is, she is, it is. Fawn. Don't know where Mama is. Man, I need to get after it. This corn it ain't waiting around, that's for damn sure. Okay, so this would be, figure, a 15-acre update. Gotta have the pump dialed in pretty damn close. Cause I had just a little bit over 280 in it, and there's about 10 left in it. And if I would have used all 280 gallon, according to, if figuring 8.8 acres, 280 gallon, comes out to 31.8 gallon an acre, and I'm shooting for 32, so I could probably turn the pump up just a smidge, just a wee little bit. Definitely probably have to change the float balls, and I'm wondering if I'm not going to have to change my orifices. It shows they're all using broke a spring already. They're all using fertilizer. See, them check valves are working great. They're all using fertilizer. It just shows they're not all always using even. But like I say, I don't know if that's because the stainless balls are too heavy for my flow rate, or if it's because the orifices I have in there, if I remember right, I was planning on a 40 to 50 gallon range, and I guess now I probably should order some for a 30 to 40 gallon range. But like I say, right now, like, this corn's getting away from me. I can call and order orifices tomorrow, but right now we really just need to be side dressing because stuff's getting out of hand. It's putting down pretty much enough 28, so if you got a row that's getting a higher rate here and not here, it should all, it's not ideal, but it should even out. I mean, for the first day running a brand new ground up build tool, I'm gonna call it a win. But we still got a fair bit of daylight left. I might go get another load and go try to grab 5 more acres out of it, maybe. Another quick update. Apparently whatever that thing had stuck in the float worked its way out when I filled this thing up to go down there, because it quit leaking already, and I just filled another tank and it ran fine. So, but I'm gonna run down real quick and grab something to drink and give this thing just a wee bit more stroke, just a teensy weensy bit more, and I think we'll be all right. So yeah, remember that chain tensioner that I needed to move to the other side, or it'll never work, and it seems to be working just fine to me. So anyhow, we'll catch you guys here at the next video. I think we're getting it dialed in. It is a little hard on corners though, although believe it or not, the tractor actually knocks more down swinging a corner than the cart does. The wheel spacing front to back on that thing doesn't really, I think a wide front would be better. But there's something about the wheel spacing on that that's not quite right for trying to follow 30s around a curve. If you hug the outside with the narrow front as tight as you can, the back tires still slide over onto the rows, depending on how tight the curve is. But other than that, it doesn't do too bad. You do have to treat it exactly like a cultivator though. Once you trust it, you just look straight ahead and you trust that it's back there doing what it needs to be doing, because if you turn around for a hot minute, next thing you know, you're either running over corn in front of you or you're running over corn behind you, one of the two. But it definitely needs to be, I mean, it doesn't do a terrible amount of damage in or when you're turning on your ends. I mean, I'm probably, like I say, it needs to be on a wide front. That would make things a lot better. But I'm probably knocking down less corn with that thing, even with the cart, than these guys pulling 16-row applicators on duals with front wheel assist, with duals on front and back and the whole schmear. So I don't think it's too terrible. I've definitely seen worse. Like I say, a wide front, it needs to be on a bigger tractor regardless, because I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy, but especially if you got more than half a tank in that cart and you're making a turn, it'll manhandle that 1800. She's just not heavy enough. So I think the 1950T, or one of these days when that 2105 gets running, but it probably needs to have a 110 horse tractor in front of it, just because of weight. I mean, I got plenty of horsepower. She just ain't quite heavy enough to do a good job of controlling it. But right now, it's this and the 1600 are the only things we got set on 30s. Although that being said, I was thinking today, it's like, man, I wonder if I should try that on a four-wheel drive. It'd be way overkill, but it should follow rows real nice. But I've never actually checked to measure if the duals on the 4150 will straddle or not. But that's, we're applicating now. That's what matters. So, but I'm gonna go home and get this thing unhooked, get the 18 back in the barn. I mean, the sky's awful freaking clear for overnight storms, unless it's gonna get here first thing in the morning. Thunderstorms possible after 4 a.m. Tomorrow, 71, chance of rain, 70%. Oh, sorry, that's tonight. Tuesday, 88, chance of rain, 60%. Wednesday, 81, chance of rain, 50%. It's gonna be interesting getting shit done. Well, I guess since it sounds like it might rain tomorrow regardless, I will end this video here, and if I end up applicating tomorrow, I'll just add on to it. But for now, this will be the end of it. So 20 acres, figured 9, 2.5 quarters to the body, and basically 20 acres knocked out in an afternoon with fighting it for the first hour and a half or so, just figuring out gremlins. I'll take that. It's gonna take some, there's a little bit of a learning curve to running it. It's probably gonna take me a minute. There's a lot more going on than you think, I'll put it that way. But anyhow, I'm gonna, before I run out of daylight, I'm gonna get this thing home and get the 18-foot back in the barn so she doesn't get wet. So with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on